here, Louis?
Yeah, I am indeed here, I think.
Just press the camera button on bottom of your screen. That's it, look.
Hello.
Hey, up, Lance here.
I see you.
How are we doing, boys?
It's nice
Yeah,
to see
not
that you're. It's nice to see it recorded, mate. Because you normally keep forgetting this, don't you?
I've been known to do it a few times, yeah. So, everybody who's watching, this is Lockdown Beers with the Pro-Am champion, Louis Edwards, and Mr. Luke Barker.
Mr. Break It.
So, how are we doing, boys?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
bad.
doing pretty good.
What we're drinking? Let's start with the serious questions. What we're drinking?
Corona,
Are you both
because
old enough to drink?
I thought it was merely lockdown and lemonade with Louis, but
Fruit
turns out he's just had 18. 21.
21.
I don't look it though.
How old are you, Louis?
18.
18, just.
Yeah, not long.
Can you remember being that age, Adam?
Who, me?
Yeah.
It's been a while, hasn't it? I can't, to be fair. So, let's get into it. Obviously, you won the championship this year, Louis.
Yeah.
Well done for that, pal.
Yeah,
Well, indeed.
Took it at the last minute. But where did you both first see drifting? Like, what got you into it?
Well, I started. What was it 2 years ago now? 3 years ago, 2018. Anyway, for my 16th birthday, went to learn to drift. My dad bought me a 1-to-1. Went there, did a skid, and then became a instructor for Andy at Learn to Drift for about a year. And then just went from there, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you started a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You've progressed a lot then, obviously, in 2 years. So literally you did a 1-to-1 session with Andy, and then did you have your own car or anything and do anything, or?
Yeah, midway through 2018, we bought a 2.8 swapped E36 compact, which had, at the time it was standard when we bought it. Well, the suspension was standard. We did the typical, lock kit. Coilovers, everything. It was a really reliable car. Taught me a lot. It's kind of took me through the whole way into competition, where we bought the M3 and then obviously went from there.
So did you get the M3 to compete, like, with that?
Yeah, it would have been, well, in our eyes, it would have been too much work to make the compact. Obviously, competition spec. Obviously, it needed a bit more power than it did with a 2.8. But obviously, with the compact, you got all the rear end is a problem. It's all E30, isn't it? So the M3 came up at the right money when we were over in Ireland.
When you got it,
made sense.
were it already built as a drift car when you bought it, or did you not build it yourself?
The M3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was caged and everything. Already had everything, but we had to take the cage out of it because it was seamed tubing.
Right.
It wasn't great.
Good old Irish spec again.
And it obviously wasn't. So we ended up putting a new cage in it, just tidying it up, really.
Yeah. So then, obviously, this year was your first year competing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't go to Drift Cup, did you?
No,
you went to
Ireland.
You got your license over there.
Yeah.
And then obviously competed in both championships and did pretty well at BDC.
Yeah, good.
Where did you finish in Ireland? Where did you finish in DJ? And
I think it was 6th overall. Didn't really have the best luck over there, but
still a good result though, to be fair.
Yeah.
So what about you, Luke? Where did you first see drifting? What got you into it?
I'm kind of similar to sort of Louis, where I kind of started about 2.5 years ago. It was about late 2017 when I started. And Mike Lardner, I'm sure you probably know him. He works for us, so he kind of got us into drifting. And before that, when I was about 14, we had a choice between drifting and rallying. At the time, I chose to do rallying, which I didn't really enjoy that much. It was fun, like driving, but I'd come from doing karting. So when I did the karting, I enjoyed racing against people. And rallying, you just sort of out on a stage and just kind of use out on your lonesome, so it wasn't as entertaining kind of thing. And then sort of when I got into drifting, I started off at Three Sisters. Basically, Mike was just sat in the car teaching me. I jumped in the car, thought, this is going to be easy to do kind of thing. Jumped in it, first corner, I just kept spinning it over and over and over again.
How old were you just to go back to like your karting and stuff? How old were you when you started karting?
I started karting when I was 8-year-old. It was back in like Coleman Cadets kind of thing. I was like a little midget. And I did that until I was 12, 13, when I just moved up into Minimax. But karting was kind of political. A lot of the big teams didn't like if anyone was doing any decent in karting. So you kind of just got targeted by the big teams. So we kind of moved out of that and then went into I did like a year or two out and then went to rallying and then now into drifting.
What rallying did you do?
It was Junior Thousands, so it was like all over the UK and then up in Scotland as well.
What car were you driving in that?
We started off with a little micro because you could only be limited to like the 1 litre kind of thing. So it was micro. It went well for what it was kind of thing. It was a good handful to drive. And then we then got a 107 because I had a bit of an incident at, I can't remember what it was called. It was somewhere next to Edinburgh Airport where I kind of hit a lamppost side on. Push it a little bit too hard on the stage. Got a bit too giddy and ended up hitting into the lamppost.
Did you not have a C2 as well?
No, my dad had a C2 with a Type R engine in it, with like a Quaife sequential and everything in it, and that was a machine and a half of that.
Did you get to drive that one?
I didn't get to drive it myself, but I've been in like passenger seat with him in that. But he sold that last year before, when his co-driver passed away.
Right.
So it's rallying, doing stages, not rallycross. That's what I thought.
Yeah, rallying, doing stages like Wales Rally GB kind of.
So you can't nudge into people and no crash.
No, it was good when you came up to someone on a merge kind of thing because you was behind someone then you could follow him. But
sound shit, mate.
Yeah, you just out by yourself. You're just a bit on your lonesome kind of thing.
Yeah.
You kind of been brought up into the motorsports then, really.
Yeah, since I've been born kind of thing. So my dad's done rallying pretty much since I've been born. So he's kind of also developed all his cars and stuff like that. So he basically then started, because his co-driver got ill, so we decided that we'd start maybe put the money from the C2 into the drifting kind of thing, and that's obviously where the 350 started off as standard. It then got upgraded, we stuck like a 2J in it, because the funny story is we was at Three Sisters on a test day, and it broke down, and we thought it was like an electrical gremlin because we checked like the fuel, and the fuel was reading full. So we did all the work, took the engine out, replaced it all, and then we went to chop the tank, the fuel tank, to obviously because it goes over like the top of the prop kind of thing, stop like the swash and the swirl of the fuel. And then when we went to empty the fuel tank to do that, we realised it was empty. So we thought it was an electrical gremlin, so we actually took the VQ out and put the 2J in it. But we damaged it into the side kind of thing.
Well, because it had run out of fuel?
Yeah, run out of fuel, but it was like on the fuel tank. It was reading full kind of thing.
Casual 2J swap just because you've run out of fuel.
Yeah, it was a bit of a funny one. And then basically we just did little modifications throughout. Sort of like, was it 2018? Just doing. We made our own like lock kit and stuff that lasted like a year. We had a couple. Glimpses with the walls and stuff like that when I've been doing testing, getting used to it all. And then they started bending when we started putting more grippy tyres on the front. So we just chanced it at the beginning of last year. We just put Wisebab on it kind of thing on the front, and it completely transformed the car.
So then from there you obviously got the bug and started competing.
Yeah, got the bug and started competing. We was going to do Driftland Drift Cup in late 2018. So we went down, did the test day, but they wouldn't let me run in the competition day. So really it worked out for the better for me, because then we went over to Ireland and then got a BDC license through that way. And some people didn't agree that it was the best way for me to do it, kind of thing. And they went over to Ireland, and I did prove myself that I could drive, kind of thing. Obviously, throughout the year in BDC, I've had a lot of issues. A lot of them like mechanical, partly down to me driving, part of them down to mechanical failures themselves, kind of thing. But I've been doing a lot in the sim lately to just try and iron out any of the issues that I've got in my driving style now, because I'm quite aggressive, and I'm always someone that's always on handbrake.
I think you do well to break a simulator, though, pal.
Oh, yeah. I know I've already broke it.
If you snap a shaft on a simulator, then you're doing something really wrong.
Yeah. Just, I had an unfortunate year last year in BDC Pro. I made a good year over in Ireland. Unfortunately, obviously, I lost out by a couple of points winning the championship in Ireland, which would have been awesome for my first season. But some cheap eBay prop bolts broke and cost me that. So it's one of them. But it's a big learning curve for everyone, especially in like your first season. I would have expected to do as well as I did, kind of thing.
Yeah. What did you think obviously you both went over to drift games. What did you think to like being on road tyres, rather than the semi-slicks? Were you both running semi-slicks? I know you were, Luke. Were you running them all year at BDC, Lewis?
No, we ran a mixture of trice, semi-slicks, but quite narrow ones, and the most of the time in the dry we ran the road tyre from Ireland. It was just a good mixture of grip and being a good tyre for the little power that I had. So
yeah. So what did you think? How did you feel the competition was? Like, obviously you did the full season on road tyres and then the full season on semi slicks. Were it kind of hard to switch between the two?
I wouldn't say it's hard to switch between the two. Obviously, there's a grip distance, because a lot of the time we came back over from Ireland and we just had road tyres in the car. So we just did the first couple of sessions on road tyres and then stuck the semi-slicks on, and then just did all practice on semi-slicks, kind of thing. So you kind of got the feel for the car. In terms of sort of competition-wise, I did think it made it a lot closer having the control tyre on. Obviously, you got people like with me that had big horsepower, kind of thing, people like Louis, and everyone was on an even playing field, kind of thing. It's like the big horsepower guys couldn't run away with the big semi-slicks and power and stuff like that. You had to drive the car, and sort of you had to plan it out quite methodically, kind of thing, how to drive with it. Whereas semi-slicks, it's sort of just put your foot down, you're gone.
You said that, but obviously you did well in the road tyre one, where you'd think with your car you'd do better with the semi-slicks, and Louis were on road tyres and smashed the championship where you're allowed to use semi-slicks. Like, so,
you'd almost think it'd be the other way around, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
As Louis was saying, with obviously his power and his grip-wise kind of thing, it's an ideal match for him, kind of thing.
Yeah. So what did you think to the competition over in Ireland? Did you prefer it to BDC? Obviously they're both totally different beasts, aren't they? But
I'd say they've got completely different beasts, but obviously I'd say BDC, they got off to a bit of a slower start. Obviously it's your first season kind of doing it. But when it got towards the end of the year, I preferred the BDC events at the end of the year, especially Buxton. That was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I just absolutely love Buxton. Just driving in the night time, and that for the first time ever doing that, that was something else doing Buxton. But the driving over in Ireland as well, everyone's on like top form in Ireland.
So what did you think about them, Louis? Do you prefer the Irish side of it, or
you don't have to compliment BDC?
Yeah, Mark don't care if you say he preferred it in Ireland.
It is a difficult one to say, really. I'll admit, I think the driving over in Ireland is slightly, I don't know, I don't want to say higher up, but no, it's a hard one to say.
Slightly taller.
Obviously, like Lou said, with the tyres, it made it a lot closer. So you had your closer battles. No one had a massive advantage, so it did just come down to who could drive the best. And obviously, BDC, you had people with 1,000 horsepower semi-slicks, and you kind of didn't really stand a chance against them. But it was like Lou said, with Buxton, it was mental, to be fair. I don't never experienced anything like it.
Were that both of you? Obviously, you both mentioned it. Were that your favourite round at season as a driver, like? Or
Yeah,
which one were?
I think so. I think Buxton was my favourite.
Yeah, I'd say Buxton was a favourite as well. I did quite enjoy DMEC over in Ireland in the last round. That was a good round as well. So obviously, you got all the DMEC boys and stuff there. That was a bit of an eventful weekend as well. Well, yeah.
What happened there?
Ended in the wall, didn't I?
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did, yeah.
Yeah.
You've been in Wall a couple of times, haven't you?
Yeah, over in Ireland, I have. In the UK, I haven't.
You've not really driven much in UK. You keep breaking everything.
Yeah. Every time I come to track with Walls, I end up breaking something.
You mentioned about the prop bolts. Is that what we're blaming? Is it the prop bolts? It's not driver error?
Well, on the weekend that we went over, we'd...
Just steering.
Yeah, steering shit. On the weekend that went over, we did some testing the weekend before at Three Sisters, and we kept throwing drive belts off the engine and whatnot. So obviously we went back to the garage, fixed it. Well, we thought we fixed it. Went over to Ireland, and the first test session we did 2 laps, and the belt threw off. Put a new one back on, another 2 laps, it threw off, and it was sort of every time we went over like sort of 6,000 revs, it was just throwing a belt kind of thing. So that event, I had to just drive the car sort of below 6,000 revs. So I was having to do a lot of clutch kicking just to try and keep it moving kind of thing. And obviously putting a lot of stress on the transmission and that. And I was on the door of a guy coming across the finish line. I thought, do one more clutch kick, just get on his door just to seal the victory. Clutch kick, fucking bolt sheared on the prop. But there was some like cheap eBay ones at like £3. So, it's lessons you learn.
Yeah. You had quite a few breakages throughout the season, didn't you? With diffs and gearboxes and...
Yeah. Way too many to count. I think I broke everything on the car. From engine, gearbox, diff, prop, you name it, I broke it last season. Some of the stuff, obviously, as I said before, was down to just mechanical side. Like we had alternator problems, we had turbo problems with bits of shrapnel going through and then destroying the turbo housing and stuff, whatever on the turbo. So that was stuff I couldn't control, but stuff to do with like the drive shafts and maybe the transmission side of things, I did deem it sort of down to me kind of thing. Obviously, round 1, we knew we had weak shafts because we've been breaking them in testing, but we didn't have time to upgrade them. I think the rest of the season, it's just sort of the way I was driving. I drive a lot using the handbrake kind of thing, and obviously when you clutch kicking after dropping the handbrake, it's going from like a stopped wheel to then having to try and put 600 foot-pound torque or whatever through the kind of transmission. And I think that was braking stuff. So obviously I've been on the sim just trying to adapt my driving style slightly different. So when I do get back into the car, well, after all this COVID-19's over, I've got a bit more of a sort of just more methodical approach towards driving and just whatnot.
So you both of you, obviously, you always turn up. Your dads come and help you out quite a lot and look after you both. Have both of your dads got garages?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, them two help you out a lot.
Yeah.
Do they kind of push you on and get you ready and?
Oh yeah, definitely.
They should be on right path kind of thing.
Yeah, my dad's always on my ass trying to get me like obviously doing stuff on the car and whatnot, and he's always pushing me to do stuff. Just and he sees what he's done from the beginning kind of thing. He did that through karting, through rallying, and in drifting. He's like on my back more than ever now kind of thing.
Yeah. Louis, has your dad been? Were he driving and stuff beforehand, or just is he not driving?
Before drifting, or?
Yeah.
Like, has he had a motorsport background at all?
My dad, yeah, he did rallying. It's probably 2009, 2010. He had a couple of rally cars.
What were you driving in rally cars like? What cars were they?
There were 2 Alpha 147s. One was a ex BTCC touring car,
Nice.
And then for some reason someone swapped it to a diesel, and then so he rallied a diesel.
Right.
Alpha.
I wonder if your dads went against each other at some point.
They might have done.
Maybe.
Who would win?
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Mine
I
was faster than
wouldn't
your
say
dad.
anything. I don't want to cause anything.
they'll be fighting next time we see each other.
Obviously, I'd root for my own dad, but
So what sort of garages are they? What your family's own and stuff? What's getting you through the drifting? What do they do?
Well, I work for my dad, and my dad runs a Italian specialist garage. Hence, why it says Lancia up here.
Yeah.
Are they like Italian race cars or just any Italian stuff?
Yeah, kind of anything Italian. Really, do a lot of restorations, stuff like that. Have built a couple rally and race cars over the last couple of years, but.
What bits do you do then? Are you a mechanic or like more welding stuff or a bit of everything or what?
I can't really weld. I'm just a mechanic, really.
I'm just thinking whether to poach you or offer you a job or all like that.
What about you, Luke? What's your family garage like?
I'm same. I work with my dad. We just literally just do clutches 24/7, and a lot of people always ask us, do you not get quiet doing clutches? But there's a lot of people out there that can't drive.
So it's literally just clutches.
Yeah, it's literally just clutches, but pretty much every day we're just booked full solid, and it gets a bit boring because you just do the same thing over and over again. But at the same time, not having to mess about with other stuff that's just an absolute nightmare to do, kind of thing.
So if anyone's clutch goes at track, your pit's the place to take car to.
Probably, yeah. Probably. Ask for if anyone's had any issues, ask for advice over at our way, kind of thing.
How many clutches have you broken 350?
Not broke a single clutch on the 350.
Oh, you know?
We had the Tilton one in that was in for. Well, technically we broke a slave cylinder on testing the other weekend, but that was down to. There was a manufacturing defect on the slave cylinder.
Did you get that one off eBay as well?
No, I can't remember who got it off. It was I can't remember what company it was, but it was we got it off someone. And they're supposed to have like a little ridge to stop the bearing sliding down, and there wasn't a ridge on the bearings. Obviously, one using the car, it just slid down, and then overthrown it and just messed it up, kind of thing. So just put a new cylinder in. That's what I've been pretty much doing during lockdown, kind of thing, just sorting that issue. Just tidying the car up a little bit more than what it was. But we've not had no issues like clutch wise in the car, other than obviously slave cylinder braking test day. But it's one of those things.
What sort of you both obviously? I know you both done a lot of upgrades to your cars ready for 2020 season. What have you both done?
Well, my car's pretty much the same, except it's got a V8 in it now.
What V8 you put in it?
It's a LS2, I think.
Oh, it's an LS2?
Yeah.
6 litre?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not too sure. I think it's an LS2 with LS2.
It's like it's a V8. I don't care. So.
Yeah, it makes power. It makes more power.
Big noise.
So what? An LS2 with what heads on it?
With LS3 heads, I think, or the other way around. I can't remember.
Yeah, it would be LS3 heads on an LS2.
Yeah, that's it then. Other than that, it's just had a bit of a freshen up, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was I'll be careful, but there were talks of a different chassis potentially. Have you talked about that publicly anywhere?
It's been hinted. We're just trying to get a bit further along with it, really, before we drop it.
Is it just a rumour? Is it just a rumour, or are you actually building it?
No, it's going to happen.
Have you got it? Have you got the car?
Yeah.
Or not?
Yeah, we have got it. It's caged and everything now. Obviously, we've just been trying to finish off the E36 before properly starting on that, because we thought, obviously, with this coronavirus, it's obviously pushed it back a bit and give us a bit more time, but we were kind of rushing to get the BM done, so it didn't really do much on that.
Do you think if you'd have known, you'd have done? If you know not, like you could have never guessed at all this shit, but do you think if you had known, if you had enough time, would you have continued with the unknown chassis that we don't talk about?
Yeah, with with obviously the rounds being cancelled, it kind of pushed everything back, so we slowed down on the BM. So if we would have had that ready for round 1, probably would have given us a bit more time to focus on the secret build. But
And what is that secret build again?
It's Italian. Is it Italian? I'd say it's Italian. If your dad's garage
is Italian, and as far as we're aware, it's never been done before. Whether or not it'll be any good, I don't know.
I was just about to say, do you think you can make it competitive?
I think it'll be competitive. It'll just be whether or not it's reliable, really.
What will stop it? But you're going to run the LS engine in it. I'm like, what can I say? What can I say?
No, I think we've strayed away from that idea now. I think we're running standard twin turbo V8 in it.
That might give a little hint away to anybody who's.
If someone can guess what chassis it is from that, then I think they deserve to, it's the public.
No, I'm quite excited to see it come out in it, and I think it will be a massive game changer for UK drifting personally. Now, I wish you all the luck with it, and I hope it works, because it sounds pretty savage, like from what I've been hearing of people. So you've just stuck a V8 in it, and we're ready to go. In your 36.
Yeah, pretty much. That's about it.
Minimal changes, just a bit more power.
Yeah, obviously the small changes throughout it, and just tidied it up and got rid of some of the massive dents that were in it from last year.
So will you be running semi-slicks this year?
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not really thought about it.
I have a little bit, but
yeah, not interested. I did it on road tyres last year. I'll be fine.
He's got some. He's got some freebies to use, hasn't he, from winning the championship?
Yeah.
What about you, Luke?
We sort of obviously done similar sort of kind of thing to Louis. Obviously, we've refreshed the car.
I thought you'd done like a proper full bare shell rebuild.
Yeah, we completely stripped it all down, painted like on the arches and whatnot. Just basically, it looked a bit messy before, kind of thing. So we thought we'd just neaten it up, and it looks better, sort of like when it's down on the grid, when it's in the paddock for people coming looking at it. Also for sponsors, it makes it look more presentable for sponsors and whatnot. Obviously repainting the entire outside of the car white and whatnot to put the new wrap on it as well. And then sort of like mechanical wise, obviously we got David DY to upgrade the engine. So it's pushing quite a few ponies out of that now.
What power did it?
886, you're going to be exact. You're going to try it to 900, it sounds better.
What boost is that running at?
I think it's at 1.7 or 1.8.
Is that pushing? Is that what power you're going to actually run, or is that just a nice power figure and you're actually going to run it?
It's a nice power figure kind of thing.
Just for bragging rights.
Yeah, mainly for bragging rights. Realistically, probably to keep more down reliability side, is probably going to be sort of probably around about 7,500 horse. So that's not just saying that it's only 700 horse kind of thing, but obviously tone it down from its like maximum power kind of thing, just to help it keep more reliable, because then you don't want to blow a bloody race engine up kind of thing, do you? And obviously we've done wide stop on the rear. We've done the Spiel diff, which Elite Transmissions made for us as well, because we kept breaking the diffs because the output flanges on them were made of little crap metal on the 300ZX twin turbo ones. So we had a Spiel diff made to go inside the ZX casing kind of thing. So hopefully that should stand up a little bit better. And then also So
are you running a 300ZX rear diff with like GTR shafts?
Running 300ZX rear diff, obviously it's a Spiel diff now with Porsche outer flanges, but it was actually Pathfinder shafts, which are identical to the GTR shafts. You can just pick them up for peanuts. You pick them up for like 20-30 quid kind of thing. And basically we kept the outer cups and then swapped the inner cups for obviously the Porsche and the joints kind of thing. And then we're in a 300M bar shaft for that. In the centre, obviously, they're 300M's stronger metal than what would be in the standard kind of shaft.
Do you think that might be why you were breaking so many shafts? Because they were Pathfinder ones and not GTR? Do you think there could be something different in CVs or something? You know, if you keep breaking CV in a CV.
It wasn't that we were breaking in the CVs. It was the actual the cup that goes into the gearbox, into the diff itself. The actual output flange on the diff was actually kept snapping, and it was like the right hand side, but it kept snapping the exact same spot every time. Because I think we went through 4 or 5 diffs on that. The LSD diff seemed to hold up better though. I guess that gave it a little bit more slip. That lasted for probably like 3 or 4 events, whereas the other ones are lasting like an event you put, or like half an event you put into one in kind of thing. But I think that was down to also just my driving style, because I'm always just on the handbrake and it's like blip, 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 and then just bang, drop the foot kind of thing on initiation. Because I always thought like if you do that on the initiation, you kind of get that little bit of surge on the initiation kind of thing. But I think that was just killing stuff. So it's just.
Are you looking to change all that up? Like obviously we're having a hell of a lot more power this year, and likewise I want back a lot more grip. Are you looking at kind of changing that sort of driving style?
Yeah, I'm trying to change stuff. The driving style, as in just being more kind of fluid with it, kind of a bit like how Louis is kind of thing, where it's like minimal use of handbrake. I've been watching a lot of videos of obviously like McKeever, Dean. I've watched videos of Louis on board as well, and just taking in sort of what the driving styles are like and how they drive kind of thing. Because I sort of just did drifting and I just sort of just self-learned it kind of thing. I didn't do any sort of like learning or anything like that. It was just Mike showing me for like the first couple of times I was out in the car, and the rest of it was just I taught it all myself kind of thing. So I guess I was never had really anyone there to teach me out the bad habits or whatever. So it's just you get into a habit and you just need to just try and figure out what them habits are, which is also important for me to watch in like in-car videos as well, to see what I'm doing wrong as well. So it's all just like I said from the beginning. It's always like a big learning curve kind of thing, and you're going to learn what to do like next time kind of thing. And I think the extra power with the NOS as well.
I didn't realise you've got nitrous on it as well.
Yeah, we've got nitrous as well for like the spule up on tell the spule up and whatnot. I think that was probably going to help a little bit as well, especially like on chasing as well, because you're not having to clutch kick and whatnot as much. So it's sort of just you're just getting the power gently eased through kind of thing.
And drive a bit more like a V8 rather than a
bit like a V8 kind of thing. Yeah.
What's my next thing on here? So obviously you're both moving up to pro class this year. Are you looking forward to it? Is there, obviously we've just talked about you changing your cars and stuff. Is there anything else? Are you going into it with a different mindset, anything like that? Or like what you're looking forward to obviously for this season?
I'm just going to do the same as I did last year, really. Just try and just do a skid and see what happens, really.
Yeah. Well, I got pulled against you at Three Sisters, didn't I, when you drove in pro class?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for somebody who's not been in it very long at all, you're like the most relaxed kid I've ever seen, to be fair. Like usually first couple of years people are quite nervous and they can kind of get into their own heads, but you were like cool as a cucumber as we just sat there talking like. So.
Who won that battle?
Me. I think if Louis had an LS in his car, he might have like. I think I just pulled a bit of a gap round last corner.
How many times have you two, Luke and Louis, battled each other this year? Or last year, should I say?
We've not battled each other once.
No.
We've done a lot of practice with each other though. I love driving with Louis. He's always someone that you can. If you're on practice, you can chase him hard on practice. There's no holds barred in practice kind of thing. You just.
Who'd win?
I was just going to add the same thing.
I don't know.
Would you win? Can you beat Luke?
Say yeah.
I don't know.
Say yeah.
Have confidence.
Like
say yes.
yeah, but probably not.
It's like that. It's just not say no, be cool as a cucumber pulling up to the line and then whoop him.
Yeah, probably whoop my ass, yeah. I'd probably break something.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you didn't break anything, you'd probably win, but...
But something breaks, so yeah, you'd lose.
9 out of 10 times.
It's all them eBay parts he keeps buying.
Yeah.
What about you, Luke? Is there anything like you're changing? Obviously, you said your driving style out, but are you looking forward to getting in pro class?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting into the pro class. I think it'll also help improving just my standard of driving as well, because the standard of driving from pros is like another like step up, like a bigger step up kind of thing. And there's a lot of big name drivers in pro that, and obviously they got some of the Irish coming over as well. I think obviously for like me and Louis and the other proms moving up like Callie and that, it's be like a big learning curve for us, and I think we'll learn quite a lot from like the veterans in pros.
Where did you finish in end, Luke?
I think it was 7th or 8th. I finished in BDC, which is
considering the breakages and stuff.
Yeah,
like
considering
that.
I think every round I broke something. I think I didn't do too bad.
No.
Yeah, you said like you're on about big name drivers and stuff in pro, but you went to Ireland driving in pro class over there. How do you think you thought you went on against them? You're like the Irish drivers.
Yeah, I thought I went on against some of the Irish drivers quite well. I think obviously I went on the first time I did DGX, I was up against Sultan Al Qasimi. Obviously in that battle I made a couple of mistakes, he made a couple of mistakes. A lot of people said it should have been one more time, but he got the win. So at the end of the day, it's one of those things. That was a good battle. He was the most down-to-earth sound guy you could meet, Sultan. He was just such a nice guy. Then we met him back at Birmingham, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to stick it to you all this time," kind of thing. And he was just having a good laugh. They're like just genuine kind of fella. You wouldn't have thought it would be like a Sultan kind of thing. And then obviously Punchestown I got to the Great 8 in that, and like for that was a big achievement. For like every battle that I won in DGX, I was like properly like stoked and excited. Like, but even
did you
like
do more than one round?
Yeah, I did 3 rounds of DGX.
So you did a full season of the DGN, and then 3 rounds.
3 rounds of because the Punchestown was on the same weekend as well. So, if it wasn't on the same weekend, we probably would have done it. Because it was on the same weekend, we was already there. We thought I might as well have done that one as well. Obviously, I always wanted to run the Jackfest layout, like the classic over the brow of the hill, which was round 3. Then Punchestown obviously was at the same venue as DGM final, and then obviously the last round was the DMET boys on Global Warfare, and that was a pretty scary track to drive as well.
How did you find that Jackfest layout? That's the only Irish like track that I've run like.
The Jackfest layout, I think.
You didn't do that, Matt. You hadn't done the proper they run the Global Warfare layout, didn't they?
Yeah.
You were there.
Oh, right, okay.
You should know you can't
Yeah.
go
Well,
I ain't got a clue, mate.
the Jackfest layout for I think it's the last couple of years that they did for the last round, where it's like over the brow of the hill. That is just something else. I think you're topping out in 3rd gear, which is 100 mile an hour for me on the limiter, and it's just over a crest blind and then just chuck it in kind of thing. And that's
people, they don't realise from watching it on live stream, when you're going down that straight, you don't realise how much of a hill it is.
Yeah,
actually.
you can't see the
You're
initiation
just like
or
looking
anything.
up at the grandstand.
Yeah, that's the track I'm on. What are you on about, Adam? Which track? That's what I'm on about, Anna.
Yeah, but you asked him about Jackfest one.
I think you meant the old
Jackfest, it
Jackfest.
was the one where James Dean crashed into the wall. Do you know where you were sat there watching it, pal?
I knew what I meant to say. I might have been pissed then as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a funny, like it's a savage layout that the
old Jackfest one.
The old Jackfest one. That's what I mean. So you know what I'm on about.
Yeah. So the questions we've been asking everybody: who do we think's going to win Pro and Pro 2 this season?
Ooh.
Come on, Louis. Can see you thinking.
Cogs are turning.
He's thinking of himself.
Pro 2, I'm not really too sure. I'd like to say someone like Jamie Stanton.
He's obviously one of L2D boys, isn't he? So I bet you know him quite well.
Yeah, I've done a lot of driving with him over the past couple of years, and he's a savage driver. I'm going to say Jamie for Pro 2.
Quite a few people have said Jamie, and then obviously both of you two have been brought up a couple of times at pro driving stuff. So we'll see how you two go on.
Yeah.
But who do you think for a pro driver?
I mean, I'd like to say me or Luke, but whether it'll happen, I don't know.
It's anybody's game, isn't it?
Yeah, anything can happen, really, can it? I mean, I don't think anyone's said you, Adam. Yeah, maybe you could win.
Loads of people have said me. Like, I think they're just saying it because it's me who's asking them, and they want to be quite polite. So I'm not involved. You can't send me.
Oh no. Thought that was the easy way out. Obviously, people like Ollie Evans or Martin Wanacott.
Yeah.
Both great drivers.
They're just easy answers now, aren't they? That's like a proper.
I can't think of anyone really.
I want somebody to come up with like a bit of somebody that you go, fucking hell, yeah.
Someone said it the other day. You know when someone mentioned Robbie Burgoyne before Pro2, I was like, yeah, savage shout, definitely. There must be some more. Don't know. Who do you think, Luke?
Pro2. I know a lot of people said like Andy Frost. Obviously, he is a savage driver. Will Gibbs as well. I've got a good friend, Will Gibbs. I think he's quite a dark horse as well.
Has Will got sorry to butt in. Has Will got his new car? Is it a PS that he's building? Is that built for this year?
Apparently so, but I don't know if he'll turn up in it at round 1 or whatever. Because I think him and his dad like to get stuff sorted, don't they? I'm sure he'd like to do a bit of testing in it before he wouldn't just rock up at a round with it when he knows his E36 works.
Sorry, there's one, mate.
Yeah, like Louis said as well, Jamie Stanton. I think he's got a good shout. Danny Maguire as well. He seems to be getting. He had a really good round at Buxton. I think that's boosted his confidence as well. As for pro, there's so many names in pro. Last year at the top of the championship that was close. Obviously, I'd love to think that even like me, I could win it. Obviously, that's.
I think you're the only driver that we've had on that said me.
No, as in like I'd love to be able to win it, but it would be a massive task to do. But I'm up for the task to try and do it as long as I'm consistent and I don't break stuff as per usual. Then I think I might. I've got the car for it. It's just down to me, kind of thing. It's down to.
You need that confidence to be winning stuff. So
it's
good on you if you do. I hope you fucking do.
I know a few people don't like it if people are confident or whatever, but end of the day, I have to be a little bit confident.
You're going for it.
Yeah, just going for it. Other people, I think my mum's just sending me loads of text messages now. the beeping is in the background. As well.
Said it would put someone cool.
Yeah, I could have said someone cool, like, I don't know, Dean.
Oh, it was Sultan just saying thanks for giving me a shout out.
Yeah. Sultan. I'd probably say the likes of Wanacott, Lawrence, Evans, Oliver Bolton, Sutton. There's a lot of drivers out there that, even some of the Irish drivers coming over. So I think is it Kevin Quinn coming over as well?
Is Kevin Quinn coming over, Matt?
It's not confirmed for a year, but I think I'd like to think they'll come and drive a little bit.
Yeah. Because there's so many drivers out there in pro that have got the chance of winning the championship. There's not like just one or two. It's like there's like 10 drivers kind of thing, maybe more.
You pull a name out of that, innit?
Yeah.
Whose car don't break. There's loads of things.
It's like Ollie. He was not like quiet for the entire year. He had a couple of podiums through the year, but he was consistent, a bit like Louis was in Pro-Am as well.
I don't think he podiumed till the last 2 rounds, did it?
No, I think it 3-6. Did he not podium round 1 as well at Teesside? Or
no, it was Paul Smith, Viskellis and Mike Walton.
Yeah.
Good knowledge. I'm impressed there, mate.
Oh, mate, I did that other night when we were chatting. There was that Drift Games quiz on YouTube.
Yeah.
I went in and watched it after. I only got 2 wrong. I was like, I've got so much useless information in here.
Oh yeah, you're the first person I turn to if I need to know something absolutely useless.
What, like if Mike Walton got a podium?
Yeah. What date was it? What were he driving? What happened? Who did he battle? You know it.
So, what is your best drifting memory, boys? Let you start, Louis.
It's probably going to be the Drift Games Bash when I did the licensing day. I was in the compact, and how do I explain this now? On one of the tracks they were running, one of the layouts they were running, it came over a bit of a crest. It wasn't the typical competition layout. It was the one that had a straight over a crest just before the really tight turn onto the pit straight.
Yeah.
For some reason, I wanted to throw a 360 over that, and I threw a 360 flat out, and it was just hilarious. we were creasing in the car, like going backwards down the track, and everyone was on the fence, like, "Wait!" You know?
So that's. I was expecting you to say like, "Oh, when I won Pro-Am championship."
Yeah.
Like,
No, I think everyone else was more excited than I was for that. To be honest.
Lou's been calm.
I told you, he's cool as a cucumber, this kid.
Yeah, proper.
Yeah.
So what about you, Luke?
There is quite a few events that I think there's quite my favourite one, and I think I probably have to say my first win at Ireland, Mondello. Obviously, it was my first ever event, and it was kind of like you get through top 32 and you think, all right, that's good achievement for the first round kind of thing, and then you kind of then got to top 16, and then it was top 8, and then you got through top 8 to top 4. It's like, Jesus, I'd not expect to get this far. And then I kind of had an incident in top 8 where a guy spun in front of me. It bent the rear arm on the car, and was debating whether to go out in the final or just leave it kind of thing, because we thought it might fail or whatever. So we thought just save the car or just go out. And I just did a couple of runs up the pitch straight to feel how the car was. It was just sort of crabbing a bit, and I just thought I'd just go for it kind of thing. And I think actually because it was towed in that much, it gave him more grip on the actual run than it should. I was running all day kind of thing. I think it's a mixture of emotion kind of thing that we put a lot of time and effort into that event kind of thing. And I think it's the first time I seen my dad sort of had tears in his eye as well. And it was just nice because like all the team was there, and it was just thing, and then there was the drone shot as well on the podium, and everyone that was stood on the pole, like around the podium, is like a shape of a love heart, which I thought was quite cool as well.
Did your dad cry and all, Louis, when you won the championship?
I'm not too sure. He was
You don't want to shop him like Luke's just shopped his dad for crying.
Yeah.
But no, my dad's hard as nails.
My mum definitely cried at the last round when I won it, though.
I can imagine, mate. I think if I won it, I think I would have, personally.
It was the only round they came to, and it was definitely a good round for them to actually come watch. Not just,
Does your dad? I thought your dad come to each round.
No, my dad did, but
your mum.
pretty much the rest of my family was at the last round, which is quite cool.
Right.
We had my mum, my nan, and my cousin, all my family members pretty much, which is funny to.
You just didn't want to let him down.
You wouldn't think someone's 85-year-old nan would want to come and watch drifting, really, but
especially in middle of October.
Yeah, middle of the night.
Yeah.
Was she in the rave tent?
Yeah.
So you get to BDC and your car breaks getting it off at trailer. You're allowed to pick anybody else's car on grid. Whose car are you using for the weekend?
I'll probably say Matt Carter's if I can choose that. Just because
Savage car.
I love that car. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It'd be slightly different to yours with a touch more power.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I don't know. Not now he's got a Savage LS in there.
Yeah, I think it's just another league though, isn't it?
Yeah, the noise that thing makes is ridiculous. Like,
yeah,
it was. I went out with him at practice at Buxton, and it was just stupid, that popping and banging and that what it does. But, What about you, Luke? Whose car we having?
I'd probably say, it's a difficult one. Maybe Robert Neeson's. I think that thing looks like a bit of a handful to drive, but it looks like good fun to drive. And just the amount of smoke it puts out, I love putting out loads of smoke myself. So it just looks like just a fun car to drive, even if you didn't do well in it. It just looks like just a fun car to drive kind of thing.
Yeah. Robin Neese, nobody said that one up to now. I wonder who bought that now. It got raffled off, didn't it?
I was just about to say, did he definitely sell it or not? Did it go?
Yeah, it went with Quinn's lorry and a trailer and stuff, didn't it? Like full package.
That'd be nice to win, wouldn't it?
So this might be a bit of a clue to what Louis' new car is. If we've got a money's no object drift build, what would it be? What chassis, what engine?
Go on, Louis.
I'm not giving
not telling you.
I'm not gonna.
Louis like E36, mate.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything else I can give away to it, to be honest. It's green.
What,
so would you say? So without giving it away, it's fair dues if you don't want to. That's fine. But would you say pretty much you are building your dream car?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's mint. Awesome. Savage place to be.
So everybody's going to have to wait and see what Louis' dream car is till he comes out in it.
Yeah, it'll be revealed soon, I'm sure.
When do you think you'll be revealing it?
I'd probably say a couple months. We were going to try and get it done for the Teesside round with Drift Masters, just because it would have been cool to have it there.
Would you have fetched both your cars, like, just in case that one weren't up to scratch, kind of? You know, like, if there were a few teething issues?
Probably, yeah. If we could, I would guess we probably would have. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody, you'll have to wait and see what Louis is building. What about you, Luke?
It's like there's a few cars that come to mind, kind of thing. Maybe something a bit oddball, like if you could get a Duke Nismo, which is obviously 4-wheel drive, convert to rear-wheel drive. A Duke Nismo.
What, a Nissan Duke?
Yeah, and just do something like just oddball. Oh, but like Osbo's done, kind of thing. It's oddball and it's completely different from what's in the UK, kind of thing.
That's pretty much like on par with Willie Anna wanting to build a Peugeot 406, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nismo Duke.
I think it'd be. Yeah, I've seen like some pictures of some wide-bodied Dukes. They look pretty cool. They look
Is that one with a GTR engine in it?
Yeah. I think they'd built one as well. But on realist, it'd probably be like a GT86 with a 2J in it. I do love the look of GT86, and it seems to be quite a common car now.
So if they were both sat there in a garage, your Nismo Duke and a GT86, which one are you taking?
GT86.
No worries. Last question, well, second to last. Who was your favourite driver? Who was the driver you looked up to most, like, as you were coming through, competing and learning and stuff?
I mean, there's no one in particular I looked up to. Obviously, when I started, all the people that taught me, people like Julie Robinson, been doing it for years.
Yeah, Julie's like an OG in the fucking drift game in UK, isn't she?
Yeah. And pretty much when I started, anyone that was in VDC I looked up to because I thought they were just all.
That's where you wanted to be, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to be. That's what I wanted to do, I guess. I'd say now probably Dwayne McKeever, just because his car's mental and he's a mental driver, and it's great to watch.
If you say you look up to Julie and whatnot, and you always pick with Julie and stuff.
Yeah.
When you've got your new car built, if you're not stripping the engine out your 36, do you think you'd let Julie have a go in your 36 at VDC? Because I'd love to see Julie compete in something that's a bit more competitive.
Yeah, see how she does.
I mean, it'd probably be up to my dad, but I mean, personally, I'd say yeah, because it's Julie. Yeah. Why wouldn't you? But
yeah,
I think she would be if she had a car that had more than like 5 horsepower, then I'm pretty sure she would wipe the floor with a lot of people. But
Yeah, I personally think she would as well. Like, I think if you put her in a spec'd up car that could keep up with folk, she would be one up at top. Like,
yeah.
What about you, Luke?
So when I first started off, I'd say obviously like Mike, obviously sort of showed me what to do. I watched him in BDC rounds and kind of just followed him. And sort of now, as I've progressed, I do quite like watching some of the like upcoming drivers as well. And I also like looking at drivers that have sort of got low horsepower cars as well, that are driving the cars hard and doing well. Yes, people like Louis, like they get.
Do you want to be like Louis?
Yeah.
You can ask you out on a date as well, Luke.
It's just you get maximum, and then sort of the Irish drivers as well. They've got like their own kind of style.
You haven't said a driver yet, mate.
Come on, we want one driver. Who's your favourite driver?
I'd probably say, my girlfriend probably hate me for this, but probably like the Shanahans, so Jack and Connor.
Why would your girlfriend hate you?
I don't know if she's a big fan of them or not.
All right.
She watches the videos, but she says she doesn't like them.
Controversial.
Yeah. But I'd say like Jack, because he's exciting to watch. You don't know what's going to happen kind of thing. And I quite like being myself, being quite exciting and just throwing the car about and just trying to just put on a show for people as well. It's at the end of the day, it's all about having fun as well. Not all about winning all the time. It's putting on a show for the fans and just having a good time.
I've got another question here. Why don't your missus like the Shanahans?
Personally,
I'm only joking.
I'm not. Tell us.
It's probably killing me not saying that.
No, it's all right, Paul. It's all right. Question we always finish with is: you want to ask me or Matt?
What was the question? Say that again.
Is there anything that you want to ask me or Matt? It's more aimed at Matt, you know, seeing as he runs championship and stuff. But
I don't know. I'm sure Luke will think of something, but I can't.
I like it when there's no questions because I don't have to think of any. I don't have to cover up anything.
You are allowed to answer with no.
I can't really think of anything really. No, I can't really think of much, to be honest.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's all good for me as well. I don't have to think of something on the spot.
Can we think? I feel like I want to ask Adam a question, like to put him on the spot. What could I ask him? I can't think of anything either.
Good answer, Matt. Good answer.
Good work, mate.
But yeah, that's it then. Thanks everybody for watching. If you watched it this far, then I'm sure you've enjoyed it. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and keep your eye out for all the next videos we're doing. Oh, that could be another question. Who do you think we should have on next, boys?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, if you ask your fans, then they might shout.
Oh yeah, you can leave it in comments. We should have probably said that at the beginning. Nobody's going to watch this far, but what about these two? Who do you think we should chat to? We're trying to work our way through BDC grid.
Let's think now.
Who's interesting?
You've already had Hannah on. Oh, that's funny.
Hannah's a liability.
Yeah.
As I mentioned there a minute ago, I'm going to say Julie Robinson. Yeah.
Who would Julie be with?
Maybe Jojo.
Yeah, it's not a bad chance.
Female drifters,
Yeah.
We had Tess on, didn't we? So yeah.
What about you, Luke?
I'm
going to say the same.
Yeah. I was going to say, I was thinking similar. Bolton's not been on, has he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who do we have to Bolton? Did we?
Luke Woodham.
Oh, I got drunk that day, I think.
Yeah, we did actually. Can we not think of anyone, Luke? Because we're dragging it out a bit now.
Lawrence not been on, has he?
Ricky Lawrence, yeah. With Willie Hanna.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
we've been doing this too much.
Yeah.
I
think, like I said, just ask, let people just comment and stuff and see what they think, and we'll try.
So if you watched it this far, leave in comments who you think should be me and Matt should be chatting to.
Get Pascal's back on.
I'd chat to Pascalis, yeah, it'd be good catch up.
Yeah.
I would say that there's a bit of a language barrier. I know you haven't spoke to him much in queue and stuff, Matt, but they might not understand what we're saying. So could be a bit of an issue. But yeah, thanks for having a chat with us, boys. And
yeah, good to catch up.
I'll see you at round 1.
Yep. Fingers crossed.
Over and out.
See you later.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.